In this video, we will look at how to create user-defined functions in Mobius. In Mobius, creating user-defined functions is an important coding strategy. User-defined functions can be called multiple times for different places in your code script. As a result, they can reduce the number of lines of code that are needed. In addition, they can also make the structure of your script clearer. Mobius supports two types of user-defined functions, local functions and global functions. Let's have a look at each of these. Local user-defined functions are created in the procedure editor. The functions are called local because they can only be called by the procedure in which they are defined. Another procedure in another node cannot call the function. At the top of the procedure editor, you will see a section called Local Functions. Multiple functions can be defined. These functions can then be called from the procedure's main code. The advantage of the local function is that it is very easy to create and maintain. Global user-defined functions are created as flowcharts that are imported. The functions are called global because they can be called by any procedure in any node. In the example, the global function converts any polygon into a pyramid shape. Global functions can be more complex than local functions. They can be a whole flowchart with multiple nodes and parameters. Importing a flowchart as a global function will make the name appear in the side menu under Global Functions. We will start using local user-defined functions. Global user-defined functions are more advanced. They will be covered in more detail later. A local function is defined by clicking the Define Function menu in the left sidebar. It is located inside the Functions menu. This will create a new function at the top of the procedure editor. The new function will have a header and an empty body. Multiple functions can be defined. However, make sure to give each function its own unique name. Initially, the function will have no name and no parameters. You need to give the function a unique name. Typically, by convention, camel case is used for function names. With camel case, each word begins with a capital letter, with no intervening underscore characters. Clicking the plus button will add new parameters to the function. Clicking the minus button will remove parameters. You need to give each parameter a name. This will be the name that you will use in your function code. The parameter names within one function must be unique. But a parameter in one function can have the same name as a parameter in another function. Each has its own scope. The control flow menu has a return statement. The return statement will be enabled whenever a line of code inside your function body is selected. Clicking it will insert a return statement into your function code. The local functions that you have created all get listed in the Local Functions menu in the left sidebar. Clicking one of these function names will insert a function call into the main code. This works in the same way as inserting primary functions. For local user-defined functions, the word local is prepended to the function name. Inside your main code, you can call the function multiple times. Note also that changing the name of your local function will automatically update the function call. The code in your local functions can include all the same constructs as in the main procedure. XYZ coordinates. When you create functions that create geometric objects, it is good practice to return the ID of the new objects. In the example, the function creates a line and returns the ID of the line. When the function is called, the line can then be used for other operations. In the example, the next line of code after the local function call then extrudes the line. The body of a function is defined as a code block. It is similar to the code block in looping or conditional constructs. The scoping rules are also the same. With block-based scoping, variables declared inside the code block will go out of scope once execution reaches the end of the code block. One last thing to note regarding flowchart parameters. Just like all other code, the code in the function body has read-only access to the flowchart parameters. This means that those parameters' values do not need to be passed into the function through the function arguments. In the example, there is a parameter called box size. A local function has been created called box, with no parameters. The function generates a box, using the box size parameter.